Bowling Green, a station with more red than green in it, is one of the oldest on the IRT. The station was opened in 1905 as an extension to the IRT Lexington Avenue line. Originally, trains using this station didn't run into Brooklyn, but however ran around the Battery Loop, commonly referred to as the South Ferry Loop, to the South Ferry Station, which is actually a part of the Lexington Avenue line, despite contrary belief. Located in Manhattan's financial district, the station is overshadowed by One World Trade Center just a few blocks away, which is also just a few blocks away from the Fulton Street Station, which is 2 stops down from Bowling Green. Yeah, the stations here in Lower Manhattan are very closely spaced, and it gets me wondering if one large main station would be worth it to consolidate all of them. Talking about closely spaced stations, the entrance to the Bowling Green station is literally just a block away from the South Ferry station, yet there is no free transfer between the 1 train and 4 and 5 trains. This, however, is an issue seen all across the system. There are many places where stations can be within close proximity to each other, yet there will be no indoor or even outdoor transfer between the different lines. Returning to talking about the station though, upon its opening, there was only one platform, the Island platform. Trains coming back uptown opened their doors onto the Island platform until the 1970s, when the side platform was opened to relieve overcrowding at the station. This station, being in the heart of Manhattan's financial district and being within such close proximity to the Staten Island Ferry, saw and still sees a high volume of passengers. If there is one thing I can say about the separate platforms, is that they definitely work to help relieve overcrowding. I've used this station many times, and I can definitely say that even with trains using each platform in one direction, it can get pretty crowded. Imagining passengers from both an uptown and downtown train disembarking here at the same time just screams out hell to me. Returning to the topic of service patterns here at this station, the IRT had a bit of trouble figuring out what to do with them. As previously mentioned, upon opening, all trains ran around the South Ferry Loop to the Inner Loop station at South Ferry. However, that changed in 1908, when the tunnel to Brooklyn opened. The opening of the Joralemon Street tubes saw half of the express trains running into Brooklyn while others ran to South Ferry. This service pattern lasted very shortly though, with demand for Brooklyn showing to be significantly higher than demand for the South Ferry Loop. Because of this, the IRT constructed another platform on the west side of the station for shuttles to provide service to South Ferry. With the introduction of shuttle service, all peak trains ran into Brooklyn. During off-peak times though, some trains continued to run around the South Ferry Loop, terminating at the Inner South Ferry station. Shuttle service around the loop was discontinued in 1977 due to budget cuts, and a large wall with mosaics on it was installed, blocking passengers' view to the abandoned platform. Despite the discontinuation of shuttle service, some trains still run around the South Ferry Loop to this day, though they do not stop at the Inner South Ferry station, and instead run around the loop and re-enter service on the northbound platform here at Bowling Green. The station, when it was originally opened, had only one entrance, and it was through this head house near the corner of Battery Place and State Street. Following the opening of the side platform in the 1970s, a new fare control area with new entrances and exits was opened to the north of the original head house. This fare control area increased capacity at the station and allowed for more passengers to move through the station without overcrowding it. Throughout the station, you can notice many pieces of artwork denoting the history of the area. They add on to the unique red tiling that we rarely ever see in the system. This is one of the many reasons it ranks high on my list for favorite Manhattan subway stations. What this station has is a rarity for many of the system, and it is what makes it so interesting. In the comments below, tell me your thoughts on this station and if you like it. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to get more from Mystic Transit, like, subscribe, and consider supporting me via channel memberships or super thanks. Special thanks to Stuart Guberman for joining the channel at the train operator tier.